Virtual Creative Factory in Colorado.
Let's just jump right in. I want you to imagine something for a second. Imagine you're hearing a voice from the past. It's an artist, right? Someone famous for, melting clocks and these totally impossible landscapes. And all of a sudden, he's asking a question about the future. Well, that voice and that really fascinating question, it's coming from an AI recreation of the legendary surrealist himself, Salvador Dalí. It's just, wow. It's this incredible fusion of opposites, right? Like a conversation between the mechanical and the mystical. And it gets right to the heart of one of the biggest questions we're all asking right now. And get this isn't just some abstract idea or a thought experiment. No way. Down at the Dali Museum in Florida, you can literally walk up to this installation, pick up a surreal lobster telephone, yes, a lobster telephone, and have a real free-flowing conversation with this digital Dali. So, you've got to be wondering, how is this even possible? How did they bring him back? And maybe more importantly, why Dali? I mean, of all the artists in history, what makes him the absolute perfect candidate for this kind of, technological resurrection? Well, to get the AI, we've got to first understand the man. See, Dalí's entire life was basically a performance. It was a surrealist landscape all on its own, really shaped by this totally unique relationship he had with reality, with dreams, and with death. You have to understand, Dalí's entire worldview was shaped by this deep, profound obsession with cheating death, and it all started right at birth. He was actually named after a brother who had died, and his parents, they told him he was that brother reincarnated. Can you even imagine that? I mean, talk about a heavy start. So naturally, this sparked a lifelong fixation on immortality, which led him straight to Sigmund Freud's work on the subconscious, and from there, boom, right into the heart of the surrealist movement in 1929. And his goal wasn't just for his art to live on. He truly believed he could. He actually said, and I love this quote, "If someday I may die, though it is unlikely, I hope the people in the cafes will say, 'Dalí has died, but not entirely.'" It's almost like he was giving us permission, Like he was practically asking to be brought back. So the big question is, how did he actually access those famous dreamscapes of his? Well, he developed this technique with a super complicated name, the paranoiac critical method. But the idea behind it is it's fascinating. He would intentionally put himself into a kind of hallucinatory state, which allowed him to see these hidden, multiple images inside a single object. And then, this is the key, he'd paint what he saw with this hyper-realistic detail. He was, quite literally, making the irrational look completely real. And here, right here, is that exact method in action. Take a look at this painting, Average Pagan Landscape. I want you to look really closely at that rock formation on the left. You see it? It's not just a rock, is it? It's also a hidden portrait of Sigmund Freud. I mean, come on, this is classic Dalí. He was a master at finding these dreamlike connections and hidden meanings in absolutely everything. Okay, so this incredibly unique way of seeing the world, it wasn't just for his own canvases. Nope, he brought that same energy to one of the most famous stories ever told. So let's set the scene. The year is 1969. The publisher, Random House, has this absolutely wild idea. Let's commission Salvador Dalí to illustrate Alice in Wonderland. I mean, talk about a perfect pairing of surreal minds, right? But of course, his approach was, it was characteristically bizarre. Instead of drawing Alice like a curious little girl, he represented her in all 12 illustrations as this stark silhouette. Just a static figure, frozen mid-jump with a skipping rope. Now with Dalí, a choice that specific is never, ever random. So what was he getting at? What did he mean by this strange repeating image? Well, it turns out that Skipping Girl is the key to his entire interpretation. Think about it. The rope freezes Alice in a single moment, right? It suspends her in time, which perfectly mirrors the bizarre, totally distorted time in Wonderland itself. It also captures this feeling of girlhood on the brink, frozen at its absolute apex. And by making Alice this static icon, her shadow actually becomes the main character, shifting and changing all around her. She's the one constant thing in a world that's been completely turned upside down. Okay, so let's circle back. Dalí had this completely unique method for pulling images out of his subconscious.
And what's so fascinating, what's kind of wild, is that today, artificial intelligence is starting to work in a surprisingly similar way.
The Dali Museum's Dream Tapestry experience? It's the perfect example. It's this amazing installation that uses generative AI to take a visitor's description of their dream and turn it into a totally unique piece of art, all in Dali style.
So how does this thing actually work? Well, the AI starts with pure chaos, just an image of what looks like old-school TV static. Then, a visitor comes along and types in a description of a dream they've had. The AI then searches that static, looking for patterns that match the words, and it just pulls them out to create a new dreamlike image. It is literally finding meaning in noise. It's creating order out of pure chaos.
I mean, this is so similar to Dali's own method, isn't it? The creative technologist Martin Ludwigson, he put it perfectly. He believes Dali would have absolutely appreciated the cosmic nature of this process. You know, the ability to reach into the chaotic minds of visitors and pull out their dreams, just like Dali did with his own. All right, so this all brings us to the big picture, the really big question. What does this fusion of a legendary artist and this cutting-edge technology actually mean for the future of art?
You know, when you look at AI's creative report card so far, it's kind of mixed. In visual art, it's been shockingly successful. I mean, we're talking about AI paintings selling for hundreds of thousands of dollars at auction. But when it comes to writing, yeah, it still struggles. An AI can whip up a scene pretty well, but it can't yet build a truly meaningful story with a plot that actually hangs together.
And really, who better to comment on all this than the AI Dali itself? When it was asked about machine creativity, it gave this absolutely incredible answer. It said, "They may mimic the strokes of genius, but can they taste the madness of melting clocks? They simulate, but the soul of creativity remains human." Wow! It's like even the machine itself knows its own limits.
Which leaves us with one final thought to chew on. Maybe AI isn't here to be the next great artist. Maybe it's just a new kind of paintbrush, a brand new tool to help us explore the surreal landscapes of our own imagination. And that is a vision that I think Dali himself would have absolutely loved